Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are doing well out there, enjoying your time. Happy holidays. I don't know what's going on with this screen. I'm going to have to fix this screen here in a second. But hopefully you guys are all doing well out there and enjoying your holiday time. It's the holiday season, y'all. Woo! Oh, boy. We got some things to talk about. This just broke a couple hours ago. Wasn't able to be on this morning. But at the same time, I'm happy I'm here to chop it up with you guys and have a conversation. There will not be a show tomorrow, given the fact that it is Christmas Eve and all that. But I am very, very excited about the holiday time, spending some time with the fam and whatnot. Now, hold on. I need to fix this before we continue. So give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think we should be good now. I think. Let's see. Much better. Cleaned it up and everything. Beautiful. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well, enjoying your Christmas Eve, okay? Or Holidays Eve, Festivus, or whatever people are saying it is, the holiday Festivus, or whatever the heck it is. I don't know what it is. Somebody in the chat probably knows. Some of you brilliant minds already know what I'm trying to say. But hopefully you guys are having a good one, enjoying your day. Got your last minute Christmas shopping done. Quite possibly, maybe. Quite possibly. We'll see about that. Rebel Soldier, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you, my brother. And good evening to everyone who's starting to file in. But yeah, like I said, we got some things to talk about, y'all. Honestly, I was expecting to hear about this today. But then at the same time, I wasn't expecting to hear this today. The verdict, you see it right down below us right now. Kim Potter has been found guilty. All right? Guilty, y'all. Laura Estrada, bing bong. Okay? Bing bong, bing bong. Okay, I'm sorry. That I'm so done. I'm so done with those TikToks. I'm just going to say that right now. I am so done with those TikToks. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy the hat. What's kind of cool about this hat is you can do this. Blam. Kind of cool, right? Random. But I feel like we got to do this today because, the news is kind of noise. In my personal opinion, it's kind of good news in my personal opinion. And of course, we're going to look at the verdict here, her reaction to the verdict and all that as well. You know what? Actually, we're going to go straight out. We're going to come right out the gate with that first. But yes, she has been found guilty, y'all. And rightfully so. In my personal opinion, rightfully so. The negligence is there. You can see it. Even when she went up, real talk, y'all, even when she went up to the stand and said what she needed to say, I feel like the defense was using that as an opportunity, as a card. They thought that maybe by showing that she is a little off and that she's emotionally distraught by this situation, that could possibly be the ace up their sleeve, right? Throw out their big playing cards, and that was one of them. At least that's my personal opinion, right? Some of y'all will disagree with that, sure. But at the same time, I do truly feel like this was something. They shouldn't have played that card. They shouldn't have. Because I feel like it leaned towards more of the fact that, how she's shaking her head and doing all this stuff. And we'll probably relive those moments again here in a second too. But you could see, like, mentally she's not good. Understandably, she just killed somebody on accident, probably playing a huge toll on her. But it also makes it seem like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of people out here, those jurors, that are going to be looking at that going, she seems off. So somebody being off, who's an officer, you put that person out there with a deadly weapon, they make the wrong kind of choice. The next thing you know, oh, thank you. That's hilarious. You put that person out on the streets, they make the wrong decision because you see what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like there's a lot of negligence here. And obviously shows reasons on why she has been found guilty. Guilty, y'all. So here it is. You know what? We're going to get straight to it. We're going to get straight to the verdict. And then there's an article which they show her new mugshot, which is wild to me. I mean, you know, it's very weird. It's just weird. We're going to look at that too. Okay? But here is the verdict, y'all. Here is the verdict. Let's check it out.
I'm now going to read your verdicts as it will appear in the permanent court records of Hennepin County. In the matter of State of Minnesota versus Kimberly Potter, court file number 27 CR 21 7490, we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And the verdict was agreed to at the hour of 11:40 a.m.
Why is this judge like delivering this is the softest way of giving out the news, giving out the verdict, like giving out bad news. You see what I'm saying? Like this is almost like an ASMR type of thing, you know? She's been found guilty on all, like this is soft for a judge. Soft. But okay, let's continue.
And signed by the jury person on 12/23/21. The verdict on count 2 is we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the second degree, culpable negligence on or about April 11, 2021, in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And that verdict was agreed to at 10:30 a.m. on 12/21/21. Members of the jury, is this your true and correct verdict? So say you one, and so say you all.
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated. All right, I am now going to poll the jury. Juror number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
You know what I find very interesting about verdicts, right? Especially if it's something like, especially when it's a negative, right? When it's a guilty verdict, right? A lot of times I feel like this part where they poll the jury, and just to make sure, juror number 12, you did vote guilty. Like it's just adding more hits, right? It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like rubbing that person's face in the dirt even more, but it's necessary.
It is.
Juror number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 7, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 13, is this your true and correct verdict? Oh, it's juror 11. And juror 17, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 19,
Mm.
is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
The agony of defeat. Look at these lawyers. The agony of defeat. Real talk. What does the time she was guilty have to do with anything? What does the time she was guilty have to do with anything? I'm confused. UPSer living the dream. Maybe reiterate that question again, because I'm a little confused by that. But thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. I really do appreciate you being a part of the family.
Juror number
go.
21, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 22, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 26, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 40, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 48, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
And juror number 55, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
She guilty. She's guilty. The judge reads the time out when reading the guilty verdict. Why? Oh, okay. You know what? That's a good question. I do not know. I don't know. But if I have that correct, I mean, the thing is that they were out for a good minute. There was a moment where people were speculating. People were really speculating that there was going to be a hung jury, like a mistrial, a hung jury, because of what the jury was dealing with. They had questions. There was a little bit of I guess some of the jurors felt like she wasn't guilty for what she has done. Some of them did. I don't know. But it is interesting that they would say that before they read the verdict. But like I said, there was a lot of people thinking that this was going to be a mistrial. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a thing where the jury was just going to be, some people were not going to be not going to agree with the verdict, or they were going to think otherwise. But somehow, whatever they did, I don't know what the thing was. I don't know what it is that they decided that made them all go for guilty. But they did end up swinging towards guilty. So I don't know what that piece of evidence, that's the question I'd like to know too. What is that piece of evidence or piece of information that made them go, F it, guilty? You see what I'm saying? No, that would make her guilty. You're right. That would make her guilty. Done. Right? So that's something that I'm interested in. Right? It's very interesting, right? But she's guilty. So whatever happened swayed some of those jurors, some of the member of the jury. I just, it's so interesting.
Members of the jury, when you first came into the courtroom, I told you that jurors are the heroes of our judicial system. Well, the 12 of you are our heroes in this case. You might remember that there was a question on the questionnaire that asked whether you wanted to be on this jury. You were to check yes, no, or maybe. A number of you checked no or not sure, and a few of you checked all three. But when I asked each of you if you would be willing to serve if the party selected you as a juror, you all said yes. You said yes, even though we are in a pandemic with Omicron spreading in our community. You said yes, even though you had concerns about serving given the nature of the case. You said yes, even though you knew you would be sequestered during deliberations and away from your loved ones. Mm-hmm. And you said yes, even though there was a chance that this case could have lasted past Christmas. You were willing to sacrifice much because you believed in our justice system.
I totally think that this woman was guilty or is guilty for doing what she did. I mean, first and second degree manslaughter. She has been found on both. There was negligence. Obviously, this was not premeditated. She was the one holding the gun. She was the one who pulled the trigger. Yes, when some people think that she meant to make that mistake. Some other people don't think that she meant to make that mistake. But I have to say, regardless, she has been found guilty, and rightfully so, in my personal opinion. I got a super chat here. And for those of y'all who are starting to file in, I see about 200, almost 300 souls watching the show right now. So please go and don't forget to hit that like button down below on any of the platforms that you're watching this show right now. And of course, hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter if you're watching through my Twitter show, or of course, follow me on Instagram as well, The Pascal Show, one word. We do have a super chat I want to pull up here. Thank you so much to Press Start Mom for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for your support. She says, as a Minnesotan, I'm so annoyed seeing this continuing to happen, but grateful that the juries have gotten it right. Merry Christmas, and thank you for all you do. Here it is. Press Start Mom. Let me say this. Thank you for your support. Thank you for saying what you said. And yes, I agree 110%. I am so sick and tired of hearing these stories that happen all the time. This is not the first rodeo where a police officer, member of the law enforcement, made a poor choice, a mistake that became deadly, right? I'm sick and tired of hearing these stories too. And I'm hoping in my heart of hearts, regardless, yes, I do believe that this woman deserves to be guilty. I do believe that. She is guilty 110% because of her negligence, because of her. It's weird because she's been on the force for 20 some odd years, right? And yet she still made a mistake like that. Someone please explain that to me. Someone please explain that to me. How does one who's been in the force for so long make that big of a mistake? So I'm hoping that law enforcement looks at this and really takes this thing seriously and sees what they need to do. If they're looking at the people that they have inside that are already a part of the law enforcement, a part of the police department, they look at their track record as well. If they're showing that a person has a really hard time, that seems to fold under the pressure, seems to crack under the pressure when the going gets tough, right? Then that person shouldn't be on the streets. They shouldn't be on the beat. They shouldn't be out on the road. Period. If they have a history of making very minor mistakes that turn into something either expensive, right, or deadly, then that person should not be put on the road. Now, I understand also that she was training fellow officers as well. She was taking rookie cops and teaching them how to do their thing, how to cop. And yet this is still a woman that was making mistakes. This is still an officer. Forget the sex. This is an officer that was making really, really terrible mistakes when ish was hitting the fan. And then, of course, they put her out. They took her off the street. They put her behind a desk for a little while. And then they suddenly take her back out like something changed. Like suddenly that's going to change everything. Suddenly her nerves aren't going to get the best of her, right? And yet it did. Once again, sitting right there in a situation where ish is hitting the fan, where things are extremely heightened, and she makes a minor mistake that turns into a deadly mistake. Instead of grabbing for her left, she grabs for her right. And instead of looking to see if it's a bright yellow taser, she goes ahead and just taser, and pulls the trigger. Like I said, those are the kind of officers that I don't want on the road. That I don't want when they're trying to protect me. Do you? I'll tell you this, hail to the no. I'm good on all that, y'all. I'm good on all that. You know, and the other thing is, I'm going to look at the super chat here in a second. The other thing is, too, though, I'm going to be real, right? I'm not expecting every single cop out here to be cold as ice. All right. I'm not expecting every officer to be perfect. We are human. We make mistakes. But when it comes to something as simple as knowing if you have a full-on weapon in your hand, like a gun that is all black, and you have a taser that is all yellow, fluorescent yellow, you should know the difference between those two things without even thinking twice. So there it is. She is being found guilty. Laura Estrada, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's poetic justice at its finest. You know what? Man, here it is. I will say this. Yes, we found justice with this case. But how many other officers are still out on the roads, still doing what they do, and have done something just as bad and knew that they had done some bad things? It wasn't just a mistake, right? How many of them have been tucked away inside the department, tucked away in, they're getting desk jobs and whatnot. They're being protected when they should be fired or forced to resign, right? But the blue protects their own, as we have seen countless times. Crazy, right? But she has been found guilty. Now, here's the thing. All right. Found guilty on all counts. All right. Now, there is something else here. There's an article that just recently popped up, because obviously this is a few hours old, this verdict. But this is very interesting. Now, I mean, some people take this and look into this and try to ride this and turn this into something else, read into this situation. But I find it very interesting, too. Look at this. Kim Potter smiles in new booking photo after being found guilty of first and second degree manslaughter for shooting dead Dante Wright, 20, when she, of course, as we know, mistook her gun for a taser during a traffic stop. She faces up to 25 years in prison, y'all. Now, take a look. This is some wild ish, y'all. Boom. She smiled like crazy. She's smiling. I don't know. So, see, that's the thing. Look at this photo. Look at this new mugshot, right? And tell me what that makes you feel. Comment down below, please. And don't forget to hit that like button. All right. Destroy that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. But tell me, baby, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel all right? It kind of, it makes me feel a little funky. I'm sorry. It makes me feel a little funky. Just a little bit. We're in Christmas time, so just a tiddlywink makes me feel a little strange. Okay, but she's straight up all them pearly whites out. But maybe an hour or so before, she is getting weak in the knees, upset, sad. But she doing all right. Yeah, there she is, chilling in the cut. So Let me get this up here. Hold on, guys. So, yeah. So, Kim Potter was found guilty of first or second degree manslaughter on Thursday, today, for the shooting of Dante Wright on April 11th. The jury of 6 men and 6 women, 9 white, 2 Asian, and 1 black. Isn't that interesting? Like, we always like, and that's fine. We have a little bit of diversity. The last few other trials that we have covered, it's only been like 1 person of color, 1. So they at least have 3. But here it is. Deliberated for 4 days after being sent out Monday afternoon. The decision came after 12. The decision came after close to 28 hours of deliberations, during which jurors had at times seemed hopelessly deadlocked. Like I said, I'm wondering what it was that made people go, she's guilty. If they were deadlocked, if they were looking at maybe a hung jury or a mistrial, what was it that swung them the other way? What piece of evidence, what piece of information swayed the jury? Now, I saw someone say in the comments, I think Devin, I don't remember the last part of the screen name, but they said, well, maybe they were trying to wrap this up because Christmas is right around the corner. True that. Very, very, very true. They probably were like, man, I want to go home. I want to be with my family, so on and so forth. So maybe it was a majority rules type of situation where they're like, hey, listen, we're not going to agree on this, all of us, but hey, what is the majority? Do we think she's guilty or not guilty? And maybe they leaned on that, but that would have been terrible too. In all due respect, when it comes to justice and when it comes to the law, I would want them to deliberate, right? To talk about it, figure this thing out, right? And make their final decision. So my thoughts are, because they did have questions, my thoughts are maybe the pieces of information that they received were the swaying factors for those other ones that were thinking, nah, she's not guilty. That's what I think. So Judge Regina Chu ordered Potter to be taken into custody and held without bail and scheduled her to be sentenced on February 18th. So we'll keep an eye on that on the 18th and find out what she's going to be sentenced with, because she's looking at 25 years in prison. 25 years in prison. And will they give her the full amount, or will they be really, really kind and sweet to her? We're going to find out on February 18th, allegedly February 18th, unless they change the date sometime soon. Potter remained impassive between her attorneys and did not react throughout the reading of the guilty verdict. Of course, she just took it. I was expecting her to have the reaction like she did when they did cross-examine her. She's shaking her head and doing all that stuff, tears streaming down her face, etc. Right? And she didn't do that this time. She was cool as a cucumber. She just took it. She's like, all right, that's what I'm getting. As she left the courtroom, her husband, who was present with the couple's sons, shouted, "I love you, Kim." Yeah. Potter's attorney, Paul Eng, I guess, argued against her being held without bail, saying it's the Christmas holiday season. She's a devoted Catholic, no less, and there's no point to incarcerate her at this point in time. Now, here's the thing. Let me say something. Now, if you didn't see my pop-up video that I put up late last night about Brent Brown. Now, if you don't remember Brent Brown was the dude that had Madeline Allen tied up, shaved bald, covered in coal in the basement of his home in Utah, right? So he had his arraignment just yesterday or just the other day. And he had the audacity to sit here and go, I'd like to go home for Christmas. I want to be home for the holidays so I can spend time with my boys, with my kids. What in the world what kind of world do we live in where it's like you committed a crime? that dude, for example, was found basically with the blood on the blood all over his body and holding the murder weapon, for crying out loud. Dude is guilty. And he has the audacity to say, oh, but can I get out in time to spend Christmas with my fam? No. Same thing right here. This attorney is sitting here going, no, you should let her at least go home. Let her have some time with her family. No. She's been found guilty. Doesn't matter if she's a devout Catholic. Ain't it funny when we suddenly are devout Catholics when we're devout religious individuals when ish hits the fan? You know what I'm saying? When there's a gun pointed at us, high key, low key. Ain't it funny? Oh, she's a Christian. She's a devout, God-loving person. Let her go home for Christmas. No, she killed somebody. She straight up killed this young man. Come on now. Come on. Judge Chu, rejected their arguments. I cannot treat this case any different than any other case. Thank you. I agree. Prosecutors had argued that Wright's death was entirely preventable and totally avoidable, while the defense countered that the former cop made an honest mistake by pulling her handgun instead of her taser. Prosecutors have to prove recklessness or culpable negligence in order to win a conviction. Potter will serve out her sentence in Minnesota's Shakopee Women's Prison. And I'm sure she's going to have a grand old time whilst being in that prison. Because you know how it is. We all hear stories about how how the prisoners really love their cops that get incarcerated as well. So she's going to have a grand old time while she's out there. Hopefully she'll be safe, but we'll see, right? But like I said, here's the mugshot again. And like I said, it just, to me, it irks my soul. Just a little bit. It just irks my soul. I don't know why. I don't know where. How does that make one person want to smile right now? You just got found guilty. You're facing possibly up to 25 years in prison, which most likely may mean that you'll never see you'll never breathe in the freedom air anymore. It's over after that. But this is a very interesting mugshot after being found guilty. I don't know. What did they say? Something? Did they give her a really good knock-knock joke before they pressed the shutter button to take the photo of her? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened here? You know? Interesting, y'all. Interesting. Let's see. Is there anything else? Yes. And of course, like I said, an hour or two before that, this is her face right here. Just chilling in the cut. She's taking the verdict. Guilty. And then maybe an hour or two later, bang, she's smiling. Like I said, it's just weird. It's just weird to me, man. Is it weird to you? This is weird. That's a weird mugshot. If you are remorseful, if you feel bad for what you have done, you saw man, I'm pulling this ish up, man, shoot, F it. I'm showing y'all again. We're going to watch it again. We're going to watch some of her cross-examination again. Because listen. How can you be all smiles, okay? When you put on something like this, I don't. I'm going to show you guys some of this again because I want us to relive it one last time, one more again, y'all. Because to me, it don't make no damn sense. This is not working for me. Now, Zozo Bob said, Zozo Bob just said, mugshot, happy pills. It could very well be that too, my brother. Could very well be that too. She could be on some really good stuff. You never know. You never, ever know. And I'm sure she has been self-medicating herself before. You see what I'm saying? And God knows what she's on during and what she's going to be on after, right? And the thing is you know what? Lady Justice said something that's facts, all right? Dante might have been in jail himself or serving time given criminal charges or the investigation that was taking place regarding the attempted murder or individual who is now paralyzed. Now, the thing is he could be doing those things right now, but he's not, because someone's negligence, because of someone's poor judgment, poor training, I guess. You've been in the force for 20 some odd years and you have bad training. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So let's take a look at this. And I know that I was pulling that off of a comment between y'all, but at the same time, it's a good point. He could still be here. He could still be here, regardless if he was a violent individual or not. It doesn't matter, right? But that's the thing. That's what's so frustrating about these situations, right? They'll call you everything except a child of God. They will call you everything except a child of God to justify why he was killed. And that's what's so frustrating about this. And I'm sorry to say this, but you look at the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. I'm sorry for going off on a left turn here, but they're praising him like he's a god, like he could run for president in 2024. Literally. Because he killed some people. He killed them, y'all. He shot some people and killed them, regardless that he was found not guilty and all that. And I'm sure, yeah, everybody, believes it was justified. But at the same time, they are putting him up on a pedestal like he's a damn rock star because he killed somebody. How are we putting somebody up on a pedestal like this? Why are we holding them so high when they have just done something that isn't it in the 10 Commandments? If you a devout Catholic, thou shalt not kill. Isn't that the normal thing? You just don't kill people. But they're raising him up high in the sky, making it seem like it's totally justified, that he's a damn rock star. Now, Lady Justice, I can't pull it up on here. I was trying to the members' comments. I can't seem to pull up onto the screen, but I will read this. Pascal, can you cover the T-Rump dunking on your girl, Candy O, about the pineapple blast? It's hilarious. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'm obviously not going to talk about it tonight, but I will talk about it. I'll look into it and see what's good. The thing is, I can't really talk about all that, unfortunately, unless I'm using nothing but code words. You feel me? It's got to be code words and nothing but code words. But I'm going to take a look at that, because if it's anything that has to do with her, I'll eat it up and enjoy it like a mug. Just saying. Especially if they made her look like a damn fool, then I approve this message. Anyway, let's move on to this is the part. Let's look at this. All right. We're going to relive this, and it's short, but I just want to show you guys some of this. Okay. And like I said, to me, it just doesn't make sense that she is one way and then the mugshot shows something completely different. And here it is. It doesn't help with the narrative that's being out here. The mugshot, I'm saying. Actually, both things at the same damn time don't work together. They don't. And it doesn't help with the narrative that some popular opinion is being set out here. They're going, oh, look at the crocodile tears. She's trying to pull a Rittenhouse, right? All fake. She's sitting there going, I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? They're going, oh, she fake as hell. Then all of a sudden she has that performance. Some will say it's a performance. And then she's found guilty and she's smiling. smiling, showing them pearly whites. Does that make sense? Doesn't help. Doesn't help. But let's take a look at this, shall we?
Ms. Potter, on the screen we have Exhibit 13 at 2:01:48. I'm going to slowly advance the frames and then pause it periodically. So let's advance just a bit. Okay, stopping right there.
Sorry, Monica Daniels just said she went to the Kyle Rittenhouse School of Fake Crying. Facts. But here's a little throwback.
At 2:01:48, do you see yourself here taking a piece of paper in your left hand?
Yes.
All right, now advancing to 2:01:49, please. Okay, now stopping at 2:01:49, you see that you've transferred that piece of paper to your right hand.
It looks like it.
You can advance a little further, please. Okay, would you agree that the piece of paper at 2:01:49 is in your right hand?
I don't know where it is.
Is this the piece of paper right here?
Yeah, it's a piece of paper.
All right, let's advance a couple more frames, please. Okay, stopping right there. Would you agree in this frame of 2:01:49 that the piece of paper is in your right hand?
Yes.
All right, and if we could play stopping at 2:01:54.
I appreciate you too, Davey. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, by the way. Happy holidays to all y'all. For real. I love you all. Real talk.
Please.
Here it is.
Okay.
I mean, we don't need to really see. Well, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. But at the same time, look at that. Come on now. That's just the start of it. And I get it. It's tough to see something that you made a mistake on. Shoot, I hate watching old videos of myself on this YouTube channel. It's cringe for me. I'm like, oh, I said that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. You know what I'm saying? I have those moments too. Trust me, it's embarrassing. It's terrible to see something that is so bad, right? When you make a real mistake. But, bruh, you're telling me you haven't seen this a million times already just to see what your defense is going to be? You haven't relived this video? I'm just saying, like, when you're... This is probably not that hard to... I don't know. Just a few days ago, I felt some type of way because I'm like, yeah, it's tough to watch that kind of thing. But then I actually thought about it even more, and I'm like, wait a second. She probably been seeing this over and over and over and over and over again. She had to have. So how's the reaction that big? Like I said, I think the defense said, this is going to be our ace up our sleeve. We're going to throw her up on the stand, and she gonna. And then, cry, scream out her sorries, lo siento. And the jury is going to feel some type of way. And either it's going to be a hung jury or she's going to be found innocent. That's what I think. But, allegedly ain't wrong. I can't pull up the comment here, but I'll read it right here. You got a point there. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to sit here and throw any shade at what allegedly just said. I will not and cannot criticize what a cop decides to do at 1/80th of a second. How dare we judge when we haven't been in those shoes? You know what? Here it is. I'm with you 110% on that. Sure, absolutely. How can we sit here and judge? Well, here's the thing. This is their job. Their job is to make knee-jerk reactions, knee-jerk decisions that could save or kill someone, right? That is their job. Their job is to be that person. When ish hits the fan and there's a burning building and everyone's running away from it, they're the ones that are supposed to be running towards it, right? They're supposed to be running towards the fray, towards the chaos, saving people's lives, pulling out a taser instead of a gun so that that person can be brought to the jail, tried, found innocent or guilty by a jury of their peers for whatever they've done in the past, right? But Dante Wright is not here anymore. That mistake happened because of her negligence, happened because of her 1/80th of a second knee-jerk decision. She should be held accountable for those things, period. Now, like I said, I get it. Hey, surgeons, I've said this before, surgeons have a extremely serious life or death type of job, right? Doing open heart surgery, you got to have, I mean, come on. You got to have the most steadiest of hands, cool as a cucumber, being able to do what you need to do to save that person's life. Be able to take that scalpel and cut that tumor or whatever with precision without a tremor in your hand. Steady like hands. And there are guys out here, there are surgeons out here that have made terrible, terrible mistakes while that person is laying right there in front of them, on a bed, right there in front of them. And they're not held accountable for their mistakes because they made a bad choice, or they leave a utensil, right? A surgeon, a piece of equipment inside of their bodies, or they accidentally cut too deep. Those things do happen, and they should be held accountable for those things. This woman is supposed to be an officer that's supposed to protect and serve. They're supposed to be ready for any kind of chaos, any type of heightened drama, life or death situations. And they're supposed to be able to make the right decisions. And I get it. It is not easy all the time. I get it. They're not perfect. There's human error in here too. I get that part. But this woman had the choice between grabbing something on her right or grabbing something on her left. And for some strange reason, she pulled for her right. And through negligence, she didn't realize that she was holding a deadly weapon, that she was holding a gun. You know, like, and the other thing is that they were throwing out stories here. They were throwing out things, right? They were saying, "Oh, he was violent with them," and so on and so forth. When we look at the footage, he was just trying to get away. He did not have a gun on him. He didn't have any of those things. But that was instantly what the narrative was out here, what was being said out here. When they found out that this 20-year-old young man had died, they said, "Oh, well, he was shooting at them," and so on and so forth. No, he really wasn't. He freaked out. He jumped in his car. He tried to drive off. Yes, I agree. He shouldn't have done that. That was a bad choice on his end. And here's the thing. If he had not jumped in his car and tried to drive off as well, maybe this situation wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, he did not have a deadly weapon. He was not shooting at anyone. Period. Now, I saw UPSer say something. I'm going to pull that up here really quick. Said something along the lines, nope, because the medical laws protect him. Not entirely. Not entirely. Not entirely. But at the same time, okay, if we're going to look at medical laws and all that stuff, you don't think that the blue protect their own? You don't think that they try to find ways to hide things, cover things up for their partner or their boy or their person in blue's benefit? Stuff happens all the time. Cover-ups happen all the time. We see this all the time, you know? And yes, Allegedly. Thank you. They say good points. So many layers to this discussion. Thanks for hearing me out. You're very right. Big hugs. Yeah, absolutely. Mad respect. Mad respect. But all I'm saying, and no animosity. None. Allegedly. That's funny with your name. I don't mean allegedly, but allegedly, yes. No animosity at all. Okay. But yes, long story short, yeah, this is crazy, right? She had this man's life in her hands, and she made the wrong decision. We're going to continue on here.
And then if we can.
Oh, by the way, there's another video, which is weird as well. I got to find it, but there's another video of her basically telling there's another shooting that happens. She goes to the officers and tells them to shut off their body cams. Real talk. After a shooting that goes down while she's still a cop. See what I'm saying? Crazy. But anyway.
Could advance a few frames, please. At this point, the paper is in your right hand, correct?
It appears that way.
And then at 2:01:55, you can stop right there. You've just transferred the paper back to your left hand, correct?
That's what the video shows.
Okay. And then if we could advance a few more frames, please. To 2:01:56. A couple more frames, please. Okay, you'd agree at 2:01:56, the piece of paper is still in your left hand, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's advance. Actually, let's play until 2:02:01, please. Okay, so stopping at 2:02:01. You have the firearm in your right hand, correct?
Okay. So a lot of people are sitting here. Trust and believe. I feel you. But she's here literally going, sadness, tears, allegedly. Apparently there were some people in the room that said that she really was crying. The tears were really going, like, streaming down her face. It wasn't just crocodile tears. It wasn't just some fake weeping. That she was really crying. Obviously, we already seen all this stuff, right? But then you see that, right? And then you see, after the verdict, you see something a little like this. And you go, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. Does that make sense? Wouldn't she be absolutely distraught? Just messed up, snot, hair all wild and stuff, red eyes, red face, streaks of tracks of tears just down her cheeks and everything. The tracks of my tears. Sorry, the random thought, but you know what I'm saying? But no. She looked okay. Or maybe she's come to terms with her decision, like with the decisions that she made, the mistakes that she made. I don't know. But smile? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the not the phone lines, but I'm going to open up the chat lines. Because I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts on this, just for a brief while, just for a little bit. Okay. Because I know a lot of people have their thoughts about this whole situation. Oops. Let me get this pinned to the top here. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this whole thing? You happy about her being found guilty or no? It is now pinned to the top of the chat. Click on it, jump on. Love to hear your thoughts. Let's do a little tiny discussion. A little bit of a tiny bit of a discussion. All right. What are your thoughts on this? You with this verdict or no? Do you think she should have walked or no? Do you think that it should have been second degree, but not first? What are your thoughts on this? Time for a little video chat, little panel discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Burr says they're conflicted on this. You know, here it is. I think a lot of people feel there's a lot of people that feel the way you feel, Burr. Real talk. Me? No. I think, as Emily Neary just said, justice has been served. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. She wasn't found guilty on homicide. She was found guilty. She wasn't found guilty on murder. She was found guilty on manslaughter. And if it was murder, I think that would have been a little harsh, in my personal opinion. That would have been a little extreme. Manslaughter, I think, makes a lot of sense, and I think that the jury came to a verdict that was absolutely 110% justified, in my personal opinion. So, right before Christmas, shoot, we still waiting on Ghislaine Maxwell, by the way. We still waiting on what's her name? What's her name? The girl with the fake medicine, Thanos or Thanios or whatever the hell it was called. What was it called? Dang, that's gonna kill me. Hold up. What's her name? Fake medication chick. The Chico. You know, I'm trying to remember the name, but this is something that's true. Kelly Jackson said, if we hold the police accountable, they will watch their actions. Your ego is not your amigo. Pray for your neighbors. Be a kind human. Seek Christ. Here it is. I agree with you. For the most part, right? And, you know, seek whatever. Theranos. Thank you. Theranos. Elizabeth Holmes. Emily Neary. And Esther, thank you. Theranos. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And also, just to what Kelly Jackson said, yes. In whoever you believe in, whatever religion you are in, yes, right? That you believe in, right? You know, you seek peace, right? Be a good human being. But yes, if we actually hold the police accountable for their actions, which I feel like nowadays we are slowly starting to march towards that. But I also do think, just to add on to what Kelly Jackson beautifully said here, I think one of the most important pieces right here is that they look at this and they teach future cadets, right? They teach future rookies the right and wrong things to do when ish hits the fan. That they take accountability for this and say, okay, there's something that we did on the inside that we messed up. So how can we fix this? And fix it. And then if something does happen, where a mistake does happen, right? You take responsibility for those mistakes. But then you take it and you turn those lemons into lemonade. Period. This happened for a reason, y'all. This did. This happened for a reason. So here it is. It all depends on what the police department, what law enforcement does with this mistake. Are they proactive? Are they constructive? Do they do what they need to do to make the right decisions and right training procedures from this point on? Training protocols and whatnot? Those are all important things, y'all. But no. Watch this be just a story and it's swept under the rug. But I am hopeful that they look at this and they say, okay, we've made mistakes. This is a mistake that happened. This is how we're going to fix this mistake. Period. Like I said, fingers crossed on that. We got Wada Kampa in the house. Wada? Hello? Hello.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you just fine, Water Camper. What's up, man?
Yeah, nothing much. I appreciate the opportunity to be up here with you.
No problem, man. No problem. What's on your mind, man? Speak on it.
Well, as far as it goes, Ken Potter, I gets as many years as possible. You said something about fixing the situation, and as far as fixing the situation is concerned, they have to make an example out of her. You know, they have to make an example out of her, and doing that, that's going to fix the situation. I bet that won't happen again. At least
I
it'll
mean,
be reduced.
I sure as hell hope it never happens again. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know, right? And we don't know, right? Now, here's something. Let me pull this up because UPSer living the dream just said this. I just wish people would quit challenging officers when they get pulled over. Just follow the speed and don't do anything illegal, and you have no reason to get pulled over. Therefore, don't have to worry. Absolutely. Here's the thing, though. Let's just be real here. He was pulled over because of allegedly, and she says it during her cross-examination. Kim Potter does say this, that he had an air freshener that was hanging on the rear view mirror illegally. And I appreciate what you say here, UPSer. I do appreciate it. Real talk. Yes, if I had the world on the string, everybody would not have broken any laws, no warrants out for their arrests, no nothing. Everybody would be perfect. Everybody would be.
But that is petty.
Citizens. But at the same time, we don't live in that world. We don't. And what were you saying, Water Camper? What did you just say?
I was saying that's really petty though. To pull somebody over for a black ice Christmas tree in the window, like
Facts.
It
means that it means that they wanted to pull him over for other reasons. That's
Exactly.
the way I see it. Like
exactly.
He was trying to keep his car fresh while being black. That's what it sounds like to me. That they saw him, he was driving, they saw what was going on, they saw the air freshener, right? They were like, oh, there's a reason to pull him over. They pulled him over because they were hoping to see if they could catch him with some paraphernalia, some weed, some drugs, God knows what.
Or some guns.
Or some guns or whatever, or to see if he has any priors, which, surprise, he did, right? Now, I'm not justifying, hold on, with UPS are saying what she said. And I do wish we lived in a world like things were just so simple like that. I wish it was UPS, or damn it, I wish. But that's not the breaks. They saw that he had priors, that he had a warrant, right? That he had, like, let's just say he had a quote unquote history of violence. And then they were like, we got to take you in. Now, they said that. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I wanted to say something about that.
Go ahead. Come on, man. Come on.
As far as it goes, like, to go ahead and pull him over for all of that, they see this black man in the car and they pull him over. And I agree with you 100% that they're doing that to probe and see if they can get even more, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that goes to strike at this point. To understand that the majority of the people that are in jail or that have these negative encounters with the police, or the court system, for all these people that to go through that, the majority of those people are going to be African American, black, and these cops know this, right? They know the COs and everything else and they know that the jail is flooded with black people. So knowing that fact, you're going to be able to pull any black person over and possibly know that they probably have something on their record.
Word.
Just, you know what I'm saying? So knowing that, it creates more bias and more profiling, in a sense, for you to end up, you know what, I'm going to pull that guy over, even for something as petty as that, because I know he probably has something else on him.
That's exactly what it is. Sorry, I was taking a big drink. But that's exactly what it is. And Laura Strada just said, you speak in truth. Real talk. And it is. They clearly were wanting to get in some sort of trouble, like get him in some sort of trouble. Now, I understand that they're saying that the car wasn't actually his, and yes, we already know about the warrants and all that stuff as well. But at the same time,
car
I-
stolen? Was it reported stolen or something?
I don't know. That's
I
a piece I
believe
need to
that
look up.
I believe that vehicle was a family member's.
I thought it was a family member's too. If I'm correct,
Yeah, his aunt or
yes,
his
it was
mom or
not his
something.
car. Yeah, I know that like the car wasn't his, right? But he was not. It was not illegal, right? He was not in illegal possession of the car, right? They didn't pull him. They didn't pull him over for a stolen car. They didn't pull him over. Oh, and the tags. Thank you, K. Lou. You're right. And the tags. He had expired tags. So they pulled him over for the expired tags and for the air freshener, right? And
Right.
then they, of course, started doing their deep dive, right? And then, of course, that's when it went from when it ish hit the fan. Denver Sunday said that the car was his brother's and it was not registered. Okay, so he was riding dirty. Long story short, he was riding dirty, but at the same time, that does not automatically mean that the man should be shot dead, right? In close range, right? But Wada Campa, thank you so much for coming on and chopping it up with me. I really do appreciate it. Vigorous Tips, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. She says she should have got life without possibility of parole. Dante Wright will never return home. You know what? You are not wrong. See, the thing is, I look at it like this. She's going to get 25. She's getting 25. She's looking at a maximum of 25. She's clearly in her late 40s, maybe early 50s. I don't know how old she is, but 25 years on top of that, do you think, I mean, that's life in prison, in my personal opinion. That's, I mean, when you are in your, if she walks out alive, that'll be very interesting, right? The mistake that he had was trying to run, was trying to jump back in the car and drive off. That's the mistake that he had. That's the mistake where he messed up. He shouldn't have done that. Period. I think that if he didn't do that, yeah, sure, there would not be a mistake, right? There would not be the mistake of the taser, and it's actually a gun. I do think that. I really do believe that. But at the same time, it is also ex-officer Potter's responsibility to know exactly what the hell she's holding. Period. That is her responsibility. Yes. So she's okay. Thank you, BX Beefy. Yes. She's 49 years old. All right. And yes, Mr. T, what's up, man? What's up, my brother? Running does not mean death. It should never mean death. It should never mean death. If you're just trying to run, that shouldn't automatically just be like, boom. You know what I'm saying? Period. It shouldn't. But going back on this, she's 49 years old, right? So when she gets out of prison, if she survives and if she gets the maximum, which I really don't think she's going to get the maximum, y'all. I think she's going to get like 10. She's going to get 10 to 15. That's what I think. I don't think she's going to get the whole 25, right? That's what she's looking down. She's looking down the barrel of 25 years. But if she does get the full 25, if she even survives prison life for 25 years, one, I'll be surprised, but she'll be 75 years old, give or take, if she was to serve all 25. So her life is over. Her life is over. Sure, she'd be out if she does do the whole 25. If she walks out and she's 75 years old, what can she do with her life? She can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Her life is over. Literally, period. Done. Stick a fork in it. It's done, y'all. So we'll see if she really does get 25 years or not. And they say February 18th, if I'm correct. One more time. Let me take a look at that. February 18th. They say February 18th, she is going to be sentenced on that day. Whether they push the date up earlier or push the date later, that is her sentencing. So we'll be keeping an eye on that and see what's going down. Real talk. Yeah, she's 49 years old. 49. So she'll be old, yo. Yeah. And I get it. I've been covering so many crazy stories of police brutality, of the unjust, right? Of the injustices that have happened, where people's lives have been basically in the hands of law enforcement and have been treated absolutely terribly. I just did an interview, and if you haven't gotten a chance to see it, you gotta check it out. It's interesting. But Delonte Crudup, I had an interview with him. He was a young man in August that was basically gang stomped by a gang of aggravated police officers. And the stories that they say of what he did, he's saying that he never did those things. They're saying that he hit this bike cop with his scooter when apparently he never did. This is what he says. So allegedly he never did those things. They just wanted to chase a young black man down and beat him senseless while he is detained, while he is handcuffed, face on the ground, getting beaten. It's insane. And all those cops, the Miami PD, all those cops that were part of Miami PD should be brought in to justice. Real talk. Shoot, man, let's not forget about that. I4LO. Real talk. Even when you do everything right, you can still end up like Philando Castile. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can comply like crazy, like Delonte did as well. He did run, but he didn't think he did anything wrong. He was running to his mom. Real talk. Because he was scared. And he was on vacation with his family. And his mother works in that line of work as well. He's thinking, let me go to my mom. Maybe she can help calm these cops down. Maybe I can help calm these cops down. She can help calm these cops down. He didn't get to her, obviously. Cops suddenly just lost their minds, unleashed on this young man as he is handcuffed, face down on the ground. They're just stomping in his head, kicking him in the face, punching him in the sides. They leave him in a cop squad car or van for 18 plus hours. If he had to go to use the bathroom, if he was hungry, if he was thirsty, none of those things. He never got not one thing. Stripped down to his boxers and a t-shirt. Hands handcuffed behind his back for 18 plus hours because of something that they said that he did that he never did. If you get a chance, please go check out that interview. It is very, very interesting. I did that yesterday morning, so please go check that out. It's definitely worth the watch because, you know, we all heard one way. We all heard one story, what the narrative was saying out there, right? What the news was saying. Oh, he hit a cop with his scooter. And he's saying he never did that. So check it out when you get a chance. But here it is. We are getting justice for Daunte Wright here. A young man, 20 years old, that should still be here. All because he just ran. Because he freaked out. Because he didn't want to get arrested. And I get it. Running is a bad choice. It's a bad idea. But at the same time, does that automatically mean you should die because you're just trying to run? Something to think about, guys. Something to think about for sure. Anyway, guys, hey, I appreciate all y'all for being on today. Thank you, guys. I know it's like Christmas Eve's Eve, right? So I cannot believe tomorrow's Christmas Eve, y'all. I still can't believe tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'm not lying. Bruh, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Okay? My mind is blown. Real talk. I might be doing something over the course of this weekend. I might. I might not. I don't know. Kind of enjoying taking some time off, resting, and all that. But at the same time, if you guys are going to be spending time, and if I don't see you, of course, if you are spending time with your loved ones this weekend, for this holiday weekend, for Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, of course, have the happiest of Christmases, happiest of holidays. Also, here it is, y'all. Be safe out there. Do your best to keep distance if you can, right? Wash your hands, sanitize. If you can wear a mask, even though you've been up to date, I would just say, just be safe out there with your family, okay? Because this other one, this new bug, okay, is flying out here and it's taking everybody. It got cases on everybody, okay? It's like Denzel in Training Day. He got cases on everybody. This one, okay? The Omarion, as some people are calling it, the Omarion ain't messing around, okay? So please be safe out there, okay? Please. All right? Anyway, I love all you guys. Have a safe one. Be good out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll probably be popping on for a live this weekend. You'll be seeing me. If I do, enjoy it with me. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.